Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy, NashyLV, back at it again with another video here on YouTube. Today we're not doing anything Dokkan related. I thought we'd do something different, something I wanted to do for a while, and that's a villain tier list. So I went through a few lists and I tried to see which one was the best. This is probably the best one that I could find, covers the characters that I like the most, so I'm not going to waste any more time and we're just going to hop right into it. Gonna go in order. I'll give some reasons to my thinking to some of the characters that are more important. Android 13 as a character, even after his transformation, D, pretty boring. Z17 though, I'll put in B. I'll put him in B. I really liked his fight against Piccolo, and of course his fight against future Gohan and eventually future Trunks, and his fight against Cell. Don't like Super 17. Super 17 as in Dragon Ball Super 17. Don't like him as a character at all, but Z, I'll put in B. 18, same thing, same reasons, B tier. Android 19, other than introducing us to Super Saiyan Vegeta and kind of showing us what Goku could do before his heart virus, he didn't really do much else, so I'll put him in D. 21, meh, D, whatever. She's just in a game and then she recently got a little bit more lore and superhero. Don't really care for her as a character, so I'm going to put her in D. Same with Bobbity, actually going straight to D. Baby, on the other hand, A tier. My favorite villain and GT, one of my favorite villains in Dragon Ball. Love his design, love his character, love the concept behind him. His fights were great, also introduced us to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Going in A, I don't care. Bojack is also going to go in D. Didn't really offer much except for his transformation. He's really quiet character. I did like his design, but overall the movie was just kind of eh. Super Broly I will put in B. I'll put him in B. I really like the movie. I like his character design. I like his new backstory. I like all the lore that they introduce. He's not really a villain anymore. We got a little bit more of him in Superhero, spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen it or seen everything on Twitter, that's kind of your own fault at this point. So yeah, Broly going in B for giving us a fight against Gogeta and giving us a new story for his character instead of the shit that we got before. Speaking of the shit that we got before, Super Saiyan Broly is gonna go into D. He's whatever. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. I say I don't like his character that much, but every time I watch the first Broly movie, I get really hyped, especially the English dub. The music used in it is amazing. It gets me really hyped up, and the fights are great, even though his character's ass, so I'll put him in a C. Ginyu, I'm going to put in a B. Probably I don't know. I'm going to have a lot of hot takes this video, but this is probably a really hot take to some of you. I really like Ginyu. I like his character. He's really goofy. I like the Ginyu Force. I like the interactions between all of them. His ability to switch bodies with somebody is really cool. We haven't really seen anybody else be able to do that in Dragon Ball. We've had characters have to wish for it. Get into that in a bit. But haven't seen really Ginyu's style of power before or since. So he's going to be. Juniors, D, whatever. Perfect Cell. I've said this before, but I really like Imperfect Cell. Imperfect Cell is probably an S for me. Perfect Cell is probably an A. So I think I will just put him in A with Baby for now. Also, this might switch up a little bit. If I start thinking about it, I might switch some people around. I got one person in mind right now, but I'm not going to say who. Next up, we have Cooler. He's been getting a lot of attention on Dokkan recently. One of my favorite movie villains, but overall, probably just a B tier. Deborah was really cool. Gonna put him in a C. Has a really dope design. Kind of got shit done in the anime. Also a pretty goofy character. That whole born again Christian thing that happened to him when he died was pretty funny. And his fight against Boo, as short as it was brutal. I loved it, so I'm gonna give him a C. Demigra doesn't really offer much other than being the antagonist of Xenoverse 1, so I'm gonna put him in a D. Dodoria is F, kind of just whatever. Dr. Gero I'll put in D as well. Ice Shenron, In terms of villainy, he's probably just an S. He was a scumbag, but in terms of how much I like him, I'll probably put him in a C as well. Good villain. In terms of his character, he was just a fucking asshole. Frieza, obvious. First S tier of the video, but Frieza, obviously one of the most iconic villains in anime history. He doesn't deserve anything less than an S. So, not much that needs to be said there. He's an S. Luke Jr., D. Hachiok, D. Didn't really offer much at all. I was first introduced to him through Raging Blast 2, and I watched a little movie that they had in there. I still haven't seen the original one, but I want to. But yeah, D. Whatever. Hachiok, I'll put in C. Really, really dope design. I mean, in terms of all the giant characters we've seen, he's probably the most unique. And the whole backstory that he had with Tapion and Minosha and the I don't know what it was, ocarina or whatever it was that Tapion used in the little music box. All really cool ideas, really different, so I enjoyed that. Hit D. Lame ass character. I don't care what anybody says. His design is pretty cool. His powers would be cooler if, you know, they did anything. Everybody he's used his powers against have figured it out and beaten it basically right away. So he's pointless. Don't really care about him. L character. Janimba is going straight up to an A. Janimba is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, one of the best designs. Doesn't say much, doesn't do much, but he kicks ass. Lays down some of the biggest beatdowns in the movies. Literally almost cuts Goku's arm off. Introduced us to Gogeta, which is also one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball. You know, people like to downplay that movie and say it was whatever, but, you know, you go back and watch it and you realize, wow, this is when I first saw Gogeta. And wow, this is some really cool interactions between Goku and Vegeta. I think they might change their mind, but people were just kind of like, bleh, you know. Jiren going straight into F, our second F tier character. I actually put him lower than Dodoria for what he was meant to be in the show. He was ass. Backstory was lame as fuck. He didn't do anything. He didn't talk much. You know, he was just kind of there to be strong, and that was it. People like him because, oh, his moves look so cool, and I can forgive the fact that he literally isn't a character at all. He's just basically drawing. He doesn't talk or do anything or have a history, but his moves look cool, so he's top tier, bro. Jiren top tier. No, he's not. F character. L. If you like Jiren, you also probably like watching paint dry on a wall. Boring. Kid Buu next. I'm gonna put him at S. Out of all the main villains in Z, Kid Buu is probably my favorite. Probably the coolest build up to a final villain, in my opinion, in Z. You know, I mean, people can probably argue. I mean, you can argue any of them, but for like everything that all the Z fighters went through to get up to Kid Buu, you know, you have multiple fusions. You have Goku being dead, then leaving, then coming back to life and being back. Then you have Vegeta dying, then coming back. Then you have everybody else dying, at least you thought, not really. And just going through all of that stuff that they had to go through to lead up to the final boss moment, the ending of Z, the Spirit Bomb against Kid Buu with everybody's energy, Vegeta's real final, I don't want to say final development, but his "You are number one" speech goes off. King Cold's gonna go to a D. Demon King Piccolo, S. Obvious reasons. I don't want to make this video too long. Demon King Piccolo, S. Obvious reasons. Lord Slug, F. Just a blatant copy of basically Demon King Piccolo mixed with Piccolo Jr. Just really didn't offer anything. Pretty boring movie. Pretty boring character overall. Fat Buu I'll put into a B. He gave us, of course, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku transformation for the first time. Badass, one of the most iconic moments in the show. Also super goofy character. That one scene when he like morphed his face into a model's face to scare that girl really freaked me out as a kid. That was pretty cool. That's kind of like a villainy thing to do, just being really weird and disturbing. Next up, Super Buu Gohan Absorb. I'm gonna also put him in B. Pretty dope character. Love his design, the cockiness, the arrogance. He also introduced us to Vegito. That whole fight was amazing. Didn't last too long, and I think that's why I'm gonna put him in a B, but I do really like his character. Majin Vegeta, S. Starts off as a villain, just kind of, just doesn't give a fuck, just wants what he wants, is willing to do whatever he needs to do to get it. I guess does get it, and then has his whole redemption right before he dies. Amazing arc for him as a character, and then leading up to the end of Z, like I said, with the "You are number one" speech, it all just comes together so nice. So he's going in S. These two, shit, don't care. They're ass. Nothing. It's just like it just doesn't make any sense, and the whole ending to that arc is bad. Even in the manga, it's just garbage. So F tier Murdzamasu's designs are pretty. His like corrupt form, it looks like shit. So F. His, you know what? I'll keep that in F. I'll put regular Murdzamasu in D just because his design is a little bit better and I can respect it a little more. Mira is gonna be D. I like Final Form Mira just because of his design. Maybe just for his design I would put him in C, but this is just this Mira. Just based off of the games and maybe a little bit that we have on Heroes. He's kind of just a D meh character. Alright, these, I'm just gonna blow through some of the ones that we don't really care about so this doesn't go on for too long. Alright, I think I got it down to the notable ones now. You guys can kind of look and see where I put everybody else. This is where it's gonna, I think, get interesting for the rest of the video. Except for maybe Thouser. Thouser, F. I don't know, he's just kind of whatever if you really think about it. He doesn't really offer too much, so F. Alright, now that we have it, Moro. Moro for now, I'm gonna put in C. This is not because I don't like him. I'm pretty neutral about him right now. I like his abilities. I like that he doesn't just rely on raw power to beat his enemies. I like the backstory that we've gotten for him. I like the lore that we've gotten for Majin Buu and the Galactic Patrolman kind of getting involved. Miris, whatever. Moro is just a really cool character. Overall, in my opinion, design-wise, is very unique. His abilities, too, are really unique. For now, it's going to be at a C. We'll see when the anime comes out again and they actually animate it and go through it. It might change, might be higher, might be lower. We'll have to see. Nappa is also going to go into a B because Nappa was the first character, at least for me when I was a kid, when I saw him just absolutely blowing through all of the Z fighters, no effort, killing all of them, and they were just helpless. That was crazy. You can't deny that. I mean, when you were a kid, that feeling that you got when you just saw all the characters just dying, and just one guy's doing it, and it's not even the big boss, You felt like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Like, all of them are gonna die. Goku isn't getting there fast enough. Nappa gave you that feeling, and then when Goku showed up and actually beat Nappa, we also got the over 9,000 thing and all of that. So I think that people really discount Nappa, but he's provided some really amazing moments in the show, so I'm gonna give him a B. Nova Shenron, again, not really a villain necessarily, kind of turned into a protagonist towards the end, but put him at a C with Ice, because I'm kind of neutral. Sin, I'm guessing this means Omega as well. So if I am basing this off of being Omega, gonna be an A. I really like the Shadow Dragons idea. I like the blue Dragon Balls. I like, that whole saga was really cool. I thought it was a really cool concept. It gave us a lot of really unique designs for all of the dragons. It gave us a lot of unique fights for all the heroes to go through to lead up to Omega at the end. Gave us Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Gave us Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Overall, just a really cool final villain for the series, I think, for GT. Speaking of GT, I think I will just knock out the rest of GT right now. General Rildo, not much to say about him, pretty neutral, but gonna put him in a D for now. Super 17, also gonna go in a D. I really like his design, but the story around him was a little wonky, not gonna lie. This is coming from a guy who really likes GT and really doesn't like Super. Super 17 design was pretty cool. I know some people don't like it, but I like it. Story wasn't really there. I'm willing to admit that. Raditz I'm gonna put in a C, because he had a lot to do with the story. He introduced the Saiyans to the Dragon Ball universe. He gave us Goku's full backstory, where he came from, what he would have been like if he didn't hit his head. You know, led us into Vegeta and Nappa. He doesn't kill Goku, Piccolo kills Goku, but forces basically Goku to give his life to beat him. And that leads to Goku going through, you know, all the training with King Kai and everything. So when people say that Raditz doesn't serve a purpose, he really did. And I respect him for it. Honestly, you know what? I'm putting him up to a B. I like Raditz. I don't care what people say. Goku Black, I liked him when he first came out, but as the saga, you know, went on and the manga went on, it was just like lowering and lowering. Right now I've got him, I'll put him at a C, just because I did like him so much when I was younger, but he just fell off. Sealess, don't know much about him, can't really judge him, so I'll C for just neutral. Super Boo, I'm gonna put in Super Boo, I'm gonna put in a B with the rest of the Boos, because I feel about the same about Super Boo that I do about Fat Boo. Is that true, actually? Yeah, it is. And Gohan Absorbed. They all got about the same amount of screen time, I would say. Fat Boo, if I had to guess, if you're just talking about this form of Super Boo, not these two put together, I think Fat Boo probably had the most screen time out of these two. But I think, yeah, that's good. Turles, loved the design. Tree of Might was a cool concept as well. Maybe not done to the fullest of its capabilities. But it was a cool concept. It's just like an evil Goku. I like the fruit aspect of it. So I will throw Turles into a C for a cool concept, cool design for the character, not executed to the fullest. And Vegeta, S, of course. One of the most iconic fights in, again, all of anime. If not, it's probably the most iconic fight in Dragon Ball, if not the Goku and Frieza one. It's debatable which one is more iconic. I think they're both pretty equal. The only reason that I would say Frieza outweighs Vegeta is because of Super Saiyan, and it was just a lot longer as well. But in terms of villainy, Vegeta was the guy. Vegeta was him. And I know it was just like the first arc of Dragon Ball, but even in the Namek saga, when he pulled up on Namek and just started killing all the Namekians, stealing the Dragon Balls, just not giving a fuck, he was him, the villain. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I enjoyed making it. I know I may have some hot takes. You guys probably won't agree with me on most of this. So leave me a comment down below letting me know how stupid I am for where I put everybody, and let me know your opinions. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Where am I? Where's Reznov?
You will answer our questions. Do you understand?
Who the hell are you?
That's not important. What's important is who you are. What's your name?
Fuck you!
Where were you born?
Kiss my ass!